in 2022, my oldest child was born. And I remember hearing that news for the first time and going, oh shit, I am not ready to have a kid. Now, this video is not about having children, even though I think that's important. It's really more about being prepared and understanding things you need to improve in your life. In other words, just understanding yourself and not waiting for a, oh shit, life-changing moment like having a child to realize that you're really fucked up. And obviously, you might already know that you are, but it's just saying you're crazy or you need to improve in something doesn't really matter unless you have motivation to change. And I believe it was towards the end of 2021, finding out we were having our first kid, I shit bricks again because I was nervous. I knew that I had so many things that I had to work on, because at least in the perspective of having a kid in this situation, I had so many problems, hurdles I'd overcome, and generational problems, just a whole bunch of things, money problems that I did not want to pass on to my kids. And of course, you never want to do those things, but you don't realize that it's so much closer to happening when the actual situation is happening. And to relate it to everybody else, it can be getting married, having your first relationship, meeting a new person, just a whole bunch of things can, take place of my experience of having a kid. And oh shit, I need to change something in my life in order to better be prepared for this new chapter of your life. And something that really resonated with me is obviously self-improvement, self-help, and all that good stuff. And so I dove deep. I watched videos. I'm trying to think. Early guys like Ali Abdaal, like productivity. I remember I really had a hard time with just spending my time wisely and picking things that actually mattered instead of just wasting time. And again, Ali Abdaal was a person I watched a lot. And honestly, it was so long ago, I can't really remember, but he always sticks out, and he's someone I appreciate for being a positive, person. And somehow, in some way, a thing called the enneagram test came into my circle. And the enneagram is, I guess, a surface level is kind of like a personality test, but it's not like those Myers-Briggs or I can't even think of other personality tests because it's been so long since I've taken one. But it's nothing like those. The enneagram specifically is a tool that people use to improve themselves. And the reason why it's a tool is because it's more of it picks your brain a little differently. And the thing about the Enneagram is that it's known to be super, super crazy accurate in describing not necessarily your personality, but more of your tendencies, your dislikes, your likes, what you're passionate about, what you hate, how you react to things, and how you feel about certain things. It's pretty damn accurate. And of course, being a skeptic, because sometimes, or a lot of the times, those personality tests was a bunch of BS. I took this test, and in fact, it was not BS. It was the most craziest euphoric experience I ever had. It just opened my eyes to, when you have a problem or want to improve in something, or you have something in your mind. Here's a better example. When you have something in your mind and you can't put words to the feeling, that's exactly how I felt when I took this test and got my results. Words to these feelings that I've always felt all of a sudden came to life. And there's 9. I don't want to get too deep into it because it's something that I think you should experience for yourself, but specifically there's 9 personality types. And the thing about the Enneagram is kind of like a placebo, or I guess maybe placebo is not the right word, but kind of like if someone tells you you're bad at something or you're good at something, most of the time you're going to believe them, right? And so with the Enneagram test, you want to go in as non-biased and not influenced by any outside things as possible. Because, it's not a personality test. It's more psychologically enhanced and more of a tool to better yourself, or at least make you aware of the good and bad things that may apply to you. And so I encourage you, if this piques your interest, I'll put a link in the description of a good site of a test that'll work and be free and whatnot. but to go in as unbiased as possible. Don't look up anything, and I promise you, I am not promoting some crazy test or that's going to need information or anything. It's more of, again, a tool. And so if you really, really want to get serious about changing something in your life, ooh, my leg just itched. Don't you hate that? A spider was touching my leg. If you're really serious about making a positive change in your life towards, for a goal or a girl or money, a career, something, this is a perfect tool for you. And again, it's something that's so crazy accurate. It just really opens your third eye and helps you understand what you need to work on and what you can do to be better. And when I took that test, again, crazy feeling, but it really kind of directed my approach for, improving and the way I operated on a day-to-day basis, how I interacted with people. It had a little influence because it just made me, again, aware of why I feel this certain way about certain things, because, again, it put words in my mouth that I couldn't find before. It's like the cat had my tongue, and the cat gave me my tongue back. But yeah, go and take this test. I'll even put a link to a book that I really enjoyed when I first got into this, because it really helped me understand. I'm flipping through it right now. Helped me understand how to kind of navigate how I'm feeling, because I'm a dumbass. And so this is literally called the Enneagram Made Easy. And helped me understand the people around me too. It became a thing where I just get everybody to take the test. And even more importantly, something that really helped me was when I was the manager of the coffee shop. I remember having people take this test and, obviously not giving me their deepest, darkest secrets, just like giving me their personality number so that I could better understand how to, coach them, teach them, or just interact with them to always have a positive experience and always be there to be uplifting if something triggered them or something like that. And obviously not like a therapist, but just more as a more intentional friend and, influence as their leader, as their boss, as their jefe. Because again, that's what I want to do, is be positive and spread some smiles, man. Because growing up, I was surrounded by people who didn't want to do that, and somehow I'm still a happy person. So gotta spread it on, because again, I want my kids to be happy. I want to be happy. I want everyone to be their best. But have a good night. It's fucking midnight. I'm gonna go to sleep.